Good evening everyone, it's Tanja from Tanja Kraus Horsemanship here, and I'm coming to you live this afternoon with some thoughts from my walk. I'm sorry if anyone logged on to look at the last thoughts from my walk video because I had some technical difficulties. My screen was frozen, so I didn't know whether it was actually recording or not, or whether you could hear audio but not see visual or whatever. So I did actually have to log out and then restart my phone and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully it's all working just fine now. And what I wanted to just mention this afternoon, or what came up for me today, was how different it is when you deal with people that go through their life, just go through their day-to-day lives, really putting an effort into everything that they do, and then coming across others that put a effort into some things that they do and then not things that they do, and then other people who just don't put in an effort at all. So the way this came up for me was I've been home for a couple of days and I've been running around doing errands, and so I'm coming across a lot of shop people, like retail assistants and other people in service industries, and it's Christmas time, so we're going to the post office and we're ordering things and we're doing all sorts of stuff. And what I find really interesting is sometimes you might go to not even a local cafe, like a multinational. Let's say you go into Kraus or Woolworths, a big corporation, and you go through one checkout and the person at that checkout just gives you the best service, and they treat you as if it's their business, you know what I mean? Like, you go through that checkout and they genuinely ask you how you are, and they take care when they're packing your bags, and they do all sorts of stuff. They go well above and beyond, I guess, what has become our normal expectation for someone working at Kraus or Woolworths, because most of the time our experiences with them are that they they're generally pretty flat. They're doing what they're meant to do as part of their job, but they don't actually go above and beyond. And then you might go through a checkout that the person is barely doing minimum expectation. They might be in a mood, they might be just going through the motions. And it got me to thinking about, if you are a person who habitually goes through the motions with things, say you go to work and you're not that inspired at work, I think that it leads to two different things. One, it creates or builds a habit in us that we don't go above and beyond in everything that we do. So there's a chance, or that it's quite likely in fact, that when we go to our horses, that we're not going to go above and beyond. We're not going to be trying to do the very best lateral bend that we can do, because we're used to just going through the motions. And I think the other thing it leads to is missed opportunity. So for example, when I used to have a real estate company, I always used to say to people, if I went through McDonald's drive-through for a coffee or something like that, and I got above and beyond service, I'd have my eye on that person and I'd be like, you could be my next team member at my real estate, because if you're going to give this good at Macca's, where everybody else on the payroll is operating at minimum effort, and you're going to go above and beyond and treat me as if I'm a customer at your very own cafe, and it's like week one and you're trying to impress everybody, that's the kind of person that I want on my team. So I think that if we, and those people, I feel like they go through everything that they do with a zest and a try of trying to do everything the very best that they can. And I think if we become a person that does the very best that we can in everything that we do, whether it's going to the dentist or serving people at our job that we don't love that much, or whether it's with our horses, I think that that's a core habit that we develop within ourselves. So I think that if our core habit is 80%, then I think that we're going to operate at 80% with our horses. I think if we operate at 100%, the very best that we can do everywhere, then I think that we're going to give our horses and our training 100% everywhere we go. So just a little something to think about. What, are you an 80%er or are you a 100%er? Do people go, man, you know, you're always happy, you're always, you know, grateful and out and about, you've always got something positive to talk about or something positive to say? Or do the people around you say, man, you're you know, do they avoid you? Are you a negative Nancy? I know we touched on this the other day, but what I want to talk about today, or what I have just spoken about today, is that building that habit. Even if you think that you're able to fluctuate between giving 100% and giving 80%, I don't even want to go into the ethics that if you're employed by someone and you're only giving 80%, that you're doing a disservice to your employer, and I don't think it's very fair. You know, I don't want to go into the ethics lesson about that, but I do want to go into what habits. Your habits define your life, and your habits are what you are going to fall back on when you're working with your horses. So sure, you might be able to go to the paddock and go, you know what, I'm going to give it 100% today. But if your habit is 80%, then tomorrow when you're a little bit tired or you're a little bit distracted or whatever, you're only going to give it 80% because you're going to fall back on what you know. So that's a little bit of a thought. The question to ask yourself on this one is, what am I? Do I give 100% to every day, or am I sitting at 80% or 70 or 60%? So I hope everyone had a great day. Please comment or like or hit one of the buttons if you enjoyed it, and I'll keep on going live with my thoughts from my walk. Have a great Friday, everyone. I'll talk to you, well, everyone in Australia. Have a great Friday. I hope everyone has an awesome weekend with their ponies, and I'll be checking in soon.